ზაზა, შენ მოიყვანე კაფე კაცო?
ო,
ბიჭო, ამანქანით?
არაფერი არ შეშინებია.
აი, მე ვხდები თუ ეს მიხდება. მესანო ამერიკაში მივიდა, ხო იცი?
Мама, როგორ ხარ? ყველია.
კი.
Познакомиться, это кафе от Сосо.
О, да, он борец.
Да. Сосо არ მომწონს ამ ბოლო დროს. არ ვიცი. ღამე დგება, ბევრს ეწევა.
კამერა თუ არა?
რეალია.
Как то? Не получится.
А что случилось?
Денег нет.
Давай поборемся. Если я у тебя выиграю, тогда сними долги и шорчик все вместе.
A little frog in my throat. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Adam.
Can you do me a favor? I'm sure it's not the first time you've done this particular favor, and that's just pronounce your full name for me so I don't botch it up.
So, Levan Koguashvili.
Koguashvili?
Koguashvili.
Koguashvili.
Yes,
Oh, it
yes,
rolls
yes,
off the tongue. Not so difficult.
Yeah.
Understood. Got it now. Well, welcome. Where are you?
I'm in Georgia, Tbilisi.
Oh, you're in Georgia now?
Yes. I live here, actually.
I wasn't sure if maybe because, you know, your film is opening tomorrow.
Yeah.
Speak on the.
Yes, I'm not coming. I'm not coming.
Understood. Well,
you're in New York, right?
Yeah. I'm like 100 miles due north of New York City. So I grew up in, of course, I lived there most of my life, but I moved a bit into the pandemic. I decided to give myself some space. You know,
makes sense. In upstate New York?
Yeah, essentially right on the Hudson. So it kind of feels like a little bit of an enclave here.
Great.
You spent some time in New York, of course, right? You went to NYU.
Yes.
For graduate?
Yeah.
A graduate and so film graduate department?
Yes, Tisch. Yes.
Yeah.
At Tisch, yes.
And how long ago was that?
So I graduated 2007.
Okay.
So 15 years ago. Yeah.
Well, you've kept yourself busy. I mean, this is Brighton Fourth is your fourth or third feature. What is it?
Oh yeah, third feature.
Third feature.
But I also did a couple of documentaries in between. So.
Oh, okay. Now, it's interesting how we don't call documentaries features. But
yeah. Yes.
I don't know. They seem they're it's a full length film. And it has sort of the same experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What were your documentaries about?
So my thesis documentary for NYU was a documentary about women, Georgian women working as a caretakers of elderly in America.
Uh-huh.
So it was took a couple of years to shoot in New York. You know, it was my first big movie, I would say. And I did another one in 2015 actually, about the guy who gets out from the jail
Mm-hmm.
after serving 14 years, and he wants to start new life,
Uh-huh.
and he wants to. I'm sorry, is it me or is it you?
I think it's you.
I'm
It's
sorry.
okay.
Just a moment.
No problem.
I'm sorry.
No
Hello.
problem.
So yeah, and so he, after serving 14 years in jail, and I just followed him, and he starts new life, and eventually starts looking for a wife.
Uh-huh.
They meet online and they date, and it's a complicated and funny at the same time relationship. And I ended up shooting whole process. Him in the jail, after the jail, dating this girl who was baking cakes with the shape of a heart. So it's like this tragic comedy about search of happiness and love, and
Right.
and she was little bit. The woman was little big. I mean, oversized, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
and the
Sure.
mother of the guy was against marriage. So these kind of conversations, and
Right. Well,
and
yeah, and I can see some of these your documentary themes coming kind of or plot points coming into your fictional films. I mean, at least right and forth, the caretaking aspect, um, certainly.
absolutely. So because the world of immigrants was something I started working on as a student at NYU, because I had to find, because I came from Georgia, I came to New York, which was an amazing city, very cinematic, very interesting, and I was very lucky to be there at this great film school. But at the same time, as a filmmaker, I had to find my subjects, my topics, because I didn't know American life well enough to make films organically about Americans,
Yeah.
because I don't, I believe that filmmaking is about feeling the texture very much, as a filmmaker, everything, language, behavior, what you eat during the breakfast, and what movies you watched as a kid and which cartoons. I think all these elements are very important for filmmaker to feel, when you make movies, because I believe that filmmaking is not just about the placing camera and making the blocking or writing a script. It's about feeling, characters. So, and that's when I discovered the world of Georgian immigration. And I thought, yeah, maybe I will make American films, but about Georgians in
Yeah.
America,
Right.
So, and that was my angle. So eventually I started exploring and researching. And it happened also that the Georgian immigration was quite fresh. I mean, they just started to arrive. Maybe when I came to New York 2002, they started arriving in end of 90s, I would say. And it was mostly illegal immigration. I'm talking about people who came on tourist visas,
Right.
overstayed them, and stayed illegally in states and worked on these illegal jobs, which was for women. It was mostly
Taking care of older
taking
folks.
elder persons, and for men it was construction, delivery, and those kind of jobs. And also these people, they did not know English almost nothing. It was just so this all these circumstances, they created lots of conflict and lots of interesting stories. And I was there as a student, film
Right.
student, and I jumped into this world and started to, and made 3 or 4 films about these immigrants. And so and of course, some stories you keep in documentaries, some stories you keep for feature films, and and also they travel from one story into another, also. So it's logical.
Well, your main character in your film, his name is going to find this great.
Also, Levan.
This is what's his name?
In film.
Soso.
No,
that's
Soso
the
is
son.
the
Is the son? Soso is the son, right?
Kahi.
Kake, that's right. Kake.
Yes.
He's just such a fully realized character. How much of this is this an actor? Did you
No.
cast?
So he's a real wrestler. Basically, he's a legendary wrestler.
Yeah.
He won Olympics twice, gold medal in 72 and 76.
So he is a celebrity, a Georgian celebrity.
Yeah. He is a legendary Georgian sportsman, and who also was famous for a very, very, very artistic style of wrestling. His wrestling was very beautiful.
Really?
Yeah, and also wrestling is important sport in Georgia. There is a national wrestling, Georgian wrestling, which is probably the basement, the first stage of all those sportsmen. And lots of world and Olympic champions are from Georgia, both in wrestling and judo and all these sports.
I see.
I had either to find an actor of this age who could look like an old wrestler, or who could make himself turn himself into an old wrestler, and I couldn't find this kind of actor, so I thought then maybe I should just look among real wrestlers, and I spent a couple of weeks, and then I knew about Levan, who plays Kahi, because he's really very famous sportsman in Georgia. But I knew that he was not in the best shape in terms of health.
Okay.
And so I was kind of hesitating, should I contact him or not? But then I wasn't happy with other candidates 100%. So I said, maybe I should try and see Levan. And yes, he had some health problems. He can't hear in his left ear at all. Right ear, he has like 20%. So it was really tough,
This was probably a result of wrestling, I'm guessing. His injuries.
Yeah, also partly, but then he had also diabetes. He's also had a big trauma, big tragedy in his life. So and he's a combination of these things. Amazing victories. He almost left sport without losing. He lost, I think, only once, and also by accident. And he was this unbeatable champion, and at the same time, and he was also successful. Then he became like a businessman and a politician, and all those things. But in 1992, he went to the war. There was a war in Georgia, in Abkhazia. It's a breakaway region which was supported by Russia. So it was Georgia versus Russia, but hidden Georgian-Russian war,
Yeah.
So he went there with his son, and the bullet hit his son in the artery, and he started bleeding, and father carried his son to the hospital. And while he was carrying, son was smiling, and he died when they got to the hospital.
Wow. Yeah.
So you have this kind of character, who had these great victories, and who carried dying son in his hands, So
yeah.
And when you have, and it's all on his face, and
I was going to ask you, like, with knowing that, I mean, the character he plays is as you said, a former wrestler, and his reputation even exceeds to the United States, to the Georgian enclave in Brooklyn, where they know of him, because he comes to visit his son, and his son is, without giving too much away, his son is struggling. Right, he is a gambling addiction. There's he's in a fix, and I'm excuse me, I'm wondering if the storyline affected Levan, what he made of that, because it's so much about the relationship between this father and this son.
Yes and no. He's very, how would say, he's like a samurai. He doesn't show
Okay.
doesn't show too much emotions.
Right.
And also, it's hard to tell whether or not he read the script.
Okay.
So and it was, and I didn't really try to understand it. And so.
You felt like, oh, I really got lucky getting this guy, and he's doing a great. Let's not push it too much.
Yeah, and it's risky to have him because he's also, besides his physical problems, he's amazingly charming, and he brings lots of his own stuff, while like kind of improvisation. But at the same time, very stubborn person who hates,
Okay.
for example, he hates takes. He says
Oh.
that I'm not, 2 takes is a maximum. And I usually do more. And
Well, does he know he's kind of lucky that he didn't get cast in a Stanley Kubrick film?
Yes. They would have, yeah, I know. And he would leave after the 3rd take and run away, and would chase him and bring him back and take him to, say, offering him sushi in the evening. So
Bribes.
basically, sushi helped a lot. So that's how we made this movie. And he also broke his hand on the day 5 of shoot. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, all I can tell people is that he's really brings a lot of gravitas with him. He's such a great central character, and that kind of quiet strength, and I think you got very, very lucky. Maybe it's not luck. Maybe you're just a very good director too. You figured out how to direct this guy.
Yeah, and I maybe have some patience, I would say.
And you have a lot of patience.
I'm not sure how good I'm not, but I needed patience, which it turned out that I have, So.
And did you cast some of the local people from Brooklyn as
a lot.
Sorry?
A lot. Yeah, a lot. I basically brought only a couple of guys from Georgia, and including the main guy, and also the Lena, Russian female character. She came from Moscow.
She's the landlady, or the one who runs the house, I guess.
No, she's the girlfriend of the son.
Her, yeah, she's very beautiful, right? Yeah,
yeah,
right. Okay,
so she came from Moscow. Rest we found in Brooklyn.
Okay. Well, they're terrific, and did they sort of get it? I mean, they're not here in the United States, even if you use amateurs or non-professional actors, they're so exposed to film and television that they kind of everybody's ready. They see it on, when they're doing errands in Brooklyn. I'm sure they see film sets all over the place, and I'm just wondering if they sort of understood what you were after.
Pretty much so, I would say, and and it was mixed type of people. There are a couple of actresses who play in this. For example, there is a Georgian diaspora theater.
Right.
And so a couple of actresses are from there. So, and they also they were in a couple of short films in the United States, and so they played as an extra. So they had some experience. We also had some people from Brighton Beach, ex-criminals.
I was wondering about those guys.
Yes.
They really looked the part.
Yeah, they served many years in jail. And because I wanted to find out, I had this gambling scene. I know nothing about gambling, And in New York, gambling is illegal, as you know. So, but still, people play secretly in some houses.
Right.
So I went to these houses, and see how people play, and what happens there, what is the behavior, what they eat, what they drink. And I spent several nights watching the games and people talking, and so then I cast some people there. I offered them small roles in the peer film, and then they agreed, and some of them played larger parts. So yeah, that's how it happens. So it took some time to hang out in Brighton Beach, Coney Island area,
Right.
and those people. But what was a very good experience, and their help was great.
Well, I think you got a really just terrific, exceptional film. It's called Brighton Fourth, and I assume is that a street?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where. Yeah.
And
Address
it's
of the hotel. So sorry.
Oh, very good. The hotel, Brighton Fourth, and it's premiering tomorrow in New York, and then on the February 11th in Los Angeles, which is fantastic. And then it was also a big. Were you in New York at least for Tribeca Film Festival,
Yeah.
where it had its festival?
Yes.
Was that the festival premiere?
Yes,
Certainly the United States.
No, it was world premiere.
It was.
Yeah.
And it won some awards, right? It did very well.
Yeah. We won 3 awards: best film, best script, and best actor.
That's fantastic. Well, I appreciate it all the more that you came on my show. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Really urge everybody to see Brighton Fourth. It's a special film. It really is. I really enjoyed it. So
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Well, thank you for that. And thanks for making time what time? I guess it's about 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
No, it's 6:20 in the evening.
Oh, it is.
It's like 9 hours, I guess, right?
Oh my
9
gosh.
hours.
Well, I can see the light is pouring in. So it's obviously, it looks like the light is coming in.
Evening. Yeah.
Right. You must be pretty north, I guess.
Pretty south.
Right.
Huh? I mean, I think I'm pretty much in the same.
Oh, really?
Yes, New
York.
Because
by 6 o'clock, it's pitch black here in New York.
It is black. It's just light in the it's
oh, okay.
Electrical light. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, thanks for clearing all that up.
Okay.
I appreciate it, and yeah, I hope everybody sees your film, and I look forward to catching up with some of your other films too. They sound great.
Thank you so much. I'll be happy.
My pleasure.
My pleasure.
Take care. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good day.
Thank you.